just don't know what I'm going to do. I got tax paperwork everywhere, receipts and quarterlies and monthlies and dailies and yearlies all over the place. I've been working for 2-3 days now, and I can't seem to get ahead. I absolutely don't know what I'm going to do. And, you know, I've been at this table, I eat, I drink at this table. I've even been sleeping and literally just pulling my hair out. I just don't, I need some help. I'm running out of time.
That video is an example of the common emotions most of us feel as tax time approaches, and one of the big reasons I feel America should adopt the FairTax. I'm a proponent of eliminating the current federal income tax and adopting a FairTax plan. The FairTax is simpler, fairer, more efficient, and more feasible than the current federal income tax. IRS estimates show that 40% of Americans are not paying taxes, while the rest of us suffer the entire tax burden. Let's envision a tax plan that allows you to keep every dollar of your paycheck, frees up time and waste from filling out IRS documents, wipes out the income tax and shuts down the IRS, repeals the 16th Amendment, making taxing income unconstitutional, gives an exemption to taxpayers below the poverty line, ensures that all Americans pay their fair share of taxes, lowers tax rate for low-income and middle-income Americans, helps families save money for homes, education, and retirement, doesn't change the amount of money raised by the federal government, and makes American products more competitive in overseas markets. What I've described is a fair tax plan. The fair tax plan proposes a system where a flat tax rate is applied when Americans make purchases, similar to a sales tax. I, like many other Americans, am hardworking and have always paid my taxes on time without penalty. I want all American citizens to share an equal and fair role in paying the necessary taxes for our country to operate as it always has. We should all consider our role as taxpayers and the best way to move our country forward in a manner that benefits us all while having a national tax system in place. The current federal tax income is unfair, costly, and extremely confusing for taxpayers. The tax code is too complex and easy to dodge. Taxpayers are paying more than they should in taxes. IRS estimates show that 40% of Americans are not in compliance with the current tax code, which means the rest of us are paying around 30% more in taxes than we should. According to Money Magazine, about half of all taxpayers get professional help to prepare their taxes, and there is a strong chance they will prepare them incorrectly. Compliance with the current tax code is complicated, very time-consuming, and is expensive to accomplish. Estimates show it costs around $900 for every living person in the U.S. for tax preparation. The current federal income tax obstructs how citizens develop and use their own personal finances. Taxing income discourages Americans from working hard and trying to earn as much as they can because much of it disappears before they even see it. The current tax code limits economic growth and job creation. The current tax code discourages savings and investing because oftentimes the taxpayer is subjected to multiple taxation on the same income. The fair tax plan would encourage Americans to save and invest more money. They would have freedom to do what they please with their income they've earned without facing unjust penalty. Payroll taxes are automatically taken out of paychecks, and as a taxpayer, we have no control on how much we pay in taxes. These taxes are deducted from our paycheck before we're even allowed to save any of that money. The fair tax eliminates loopholes in the federal income tax that are taken advantage of. The current system is full of loopholes that have been lobbied for by special interest groups. The tax code is so complex that it invites manipulation by some out there. Most of those who manipulate and take advantage of the tax code are extremely high earners or corporations. There are special interest groups that only target taxes so they can keep certain loopholes in place so they can exploit them. The fair tax eliminates those loopholes because you're forced to pay the tax when you make purchases. There's no way around paying the tax for those who currently manipulate the tax system. The fair tax is a plan that replaces the federal income tax and payroll taxes with a national retail tax that allows Americans to retain 100% of their pay then control how they want to use it. In summary, I've discussed how the current federal income tax is unfair, how the federal income tax obstructs how citizens develop and use their own personal finances, and how the fair tax eliminates current loopholes in the federal income tax. By implementing the fair tax, we can get those 40% of citizens to pay their taxes and their fair share, and all of us can determine what we do with our hard-earned income. The current tax system has been unfair and oppressive for many years. It's time for Americans to stand up for change, and especially in light of the recent IRS scandals we have seen lately. We as citizens have been punished for too long by paying into an unfair system and taking on the burdens of those avoiding taxes. We can demand change in the tax code from those in power, and we can demand our elected officials to support the fair tax. Thank you.